Hi everybody, it's Jeff. I hope you guys are really doing good today. This is going to be part 13 of the Hobby Boss GMC Bofors build in 1/35 scale, dedicated to Jim Steen. Got a lot to do. I start working on the gun today, so we're going to get closer to being finished. Won't be too long now. We'll be putting some paint on things. But let's go down to the bench and I'll show you where I'm at, okay? Okay, be right back. Okay, imagine you can probably hear the furnace running in the background. It'll shut off pretty quick. It's a little cooler today. It's 64 Fahrenheit and 18 Celsius here. It's a nice sunny day, but it's getting cooler. All right, these boxes that I worked on yesterday, I'm glad I filled the seams and sanded them. I still got a couple little spots to do. Another layer of just the black CA. I used some of this, and it turned out really good, but boxes look a whole lot better after sanding those joints and filling them. So I'll just a little more sanding on a couple of spots, and those should be good to go. Much better than just leaving the joint exposed. Okay, let's see here. First thing I want to do today, well, I've got the parts to finish up step 13, and then I've got the parts for step 14 all cut out. We'll see how far we get today. First thing I want to do is get the two halves of the gun together on step 14, because I want to let those dry good, and then I want to make sure to take care of all the seams. I don't want a big seam showing down the center of my gun. So here's the halves in this recoil spring that goes inside. Now it does have a seam on it. Let me get rid of these. It does have a molding seam on it, but the way this is, if you angle the molding seam in the right direction to where it'll set in here, but you can angle it to where it doesn't show in any of the openings. So that's going to be the way to go. Instead of cleaning it all up, just put it to where nobody can see it. So let's go ahead and get this glued together, and then I'll set it aside. Oh, my little spring's running away. My table's not too level. I guess I could do something to kind of shim it up. But these plastic tables tend to get kind of a low spot in the center after a while. So I guess I'll just live with it. Okay, let's see here if we can get this spring in here to where it's going to be, the joint is going to be invisible. I think we put it kind of at a 45-degree angle, ought to be good. Can't see it there. Can't see it there. That should be okay. Just a little bit to keep it there, because it's actually captured in the gun. Okay, there's seams here and here. I'm not sure how much of it's going to show, but I want to make sure I get rid of all those. So let's go ahead and see if we can't kind of take care of these joints a little bit. I didn't do a lot of sanding yet. I didn't want the parts to end up out of flat or anything. See, I'm not sure. There's going to be parts that are going to be covering parts of this, so I'll have to figure that out as I go. But the barrel and the main parts itself are going to be seen. This does have a really nice barrel to it. It's slide molded. Okay. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. I'm going to put a clip or two on that. Just let it set there for a while. Let's see here. Here. Just to make sure it stays together well. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone for a while, and we'll come back to it. Here's one more piece that I'll have to put on later. Where did my little cup go? Okay, let's get some Photo-etch bent. I've had a number of people to watch say, oh no, Photo-etch. I don't want to do Photo-etch. It's not that hard, guys. It just takes some time to learn, practice. Everything's rolling. Here's the piece that needs to be rolled. And we're just rolling it in a U shape. Okay, and I did anneal this yesterday. I was going to do it yesterday, and I was afraid the video was running a little bit long. This might be too big, but we can get started. The most important thing is to try and start in the center. Get it as close to center to where your folds are where you want them. Keep kind of going at it. Okay. We can kind of bring it around a little bit with our fingers. Just kind of want a U shape. There we go. That's looking pretty close. Okay, let's get our part. Oh, neighbor's home. See how it fits. By the way, this is part F39. It shows it on the instructions, but it doesn't show what the part number is. So F39, if you're looking for this part. I'm going to roll that just a little more. The radius got a little bit smaller than I wanted. It's supposed to go right here. sure if it goes to the outside or to the inside. Here we go. Just a little fine adjustment. We'll put it up just a little bit. Okay, that's what we got. There is another part that I think goes over it. Let's see if it fits before we get too far ahead. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to glue it. Okay. Yeah. Just not quite centered. A little bit of manipulation there. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll get that glued in place, and then we'll set it aside for a little while. Let's go ahead and we'll use this. And I think maybe I'll use some of this black CA. It's a slow drying, so it gives you a little bit of work time. And you can see it, so you can see where you're putting it. Okay. I can get it where I want it, just right on the inside of that edge there. Too much. Okay, wipe it off where I don't want it. Okay, I'm happy with that. We're going to set that aside for just a few minutes and let it firm up. Let's take a look at my boxes. I think they're ready to sand. Just got a couple little spots that need a little more work. This black CA sands really nice. Okay, that one's very good. Okay. I'm happy with both of those. Those look really good. Let me move my chair a little closer. Okay, I just use an old toothbrush to kind of knock the sanding dust off. I clean things really good before I paint or prime, but just get a lot of the sanding dust off now. Okay. Let's like this a little more. Okay. Those are good to go. We need to put this together. This stuff's all firmed up really good now. Let's see, I'm not sure just exactly where this is supposed to sit. Hang on just a minute, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, checking the directions. Well, I assumed that these two parts would be glued together, but checking the directions, they basically are both glued to the chassis, but they're not glued together this way. So I can work on each of them by themselves. I've got this little, here it is, this little Photo-etch hanger that holds the gas cans that'll go here. It all fits really good. So let's go ahead and glue that in place. I'm going to put some of this, well, I've got the black CA still going here. It stays liquid in the lid there for quite a while. So we'll put some on here, some on here. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and glue this end because it's plastic. Just give it a minute for that CA to grab a hold. Okay, there's our little carrier in place. Okay, and then now that we've got these boxes sanded, we can put those on. They'll go here, just like that. Couple of places to connect it. Too much. Okay. That should be good. And then this side. Sorry guys, I'm just concentrating. Okay. Put a little more glue there. And a little more here. Okay, there's our boxes on. So we'll set those aside and let them set. And let's go back and check and see how our gun's doing. Okay. Not really quite enough to sand, I don't think, quite yet. There's a couple other pieces here on the base we can put on. I can see there's a couple of loose joints here. Still could use a little more. Yeah. Okay, let's put our clamps back on. Okay, I'm going to leave that for a while. Let's go back to our base. I know I'm jumping back and forth, but I'm kind of letting things dry. On the base, we've got some petals to put on. Now, according to the instructions here, we've got one. This is kind of interesting. We have one petal that's flat on top. I don't know for sure what the reasoning is for that, if it's something to do with just identifying the petal as to what, you know, what you're supposed to be doing with it. But anyway, make sure we're doing this correctly. Really don't have a whole lot of. Okay, it goes right there. Whoop, it actually doesn't. The flat-sided one goes over here, because there's only one that way. Makes the pedal sit kind of crooked. Maybe I'm not in the right spot. The locating thing is really tiny. So they do set it at kind of an odd angle. Not sure just why. I don't really particularly care for it like that. According to the directions, once they're on, they should be sitting straight. I may have to modify this part here just a little bit to let that sit flat. Let's see what we can do here. I don't really like the way it was laying. Let's see. My file's getting a little rusty. I guess that's rust, unless it's paint or something. Shouldn't be. Anyway, I'm going to file just a little bit of a groove here. To clear that part. It's an awful fine file. I might have to look for something a little bit bigger. Well, let me do this and then I'll come back and I'll show you after I get things fitted. Be right back, guys. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Here's what I had to do. I had to take a little cut here and a little cut here to get these pedals to sit flat. So now everything should line up okay. But yeah, that's quite a bit of material to remove. Let's go ahead and get them in now. Make sure everything's okay. Remember, the pair of pedals that has the flat side go on the left. Okay. Yeah, I think that would just look really odd if the pedals set at a funny angle. Okay, I like that a whole lot better. They look straight both ways. Okay, and then we've got a little tiny piece. It's F34. It'll go right here. You might have to use a tweezer. Come on. It's right there. Maybe the hole needs to be opened up a little bit. I know you guys can't see. Well, let me just run a knife around the inside. Might have just a touch of flash. See if we can get it in there. I can't do it with the tweezers. Terribly afraid it's going to ping off and be gone. Right there. Got it. Okay, it is pretty tight. Okay, we'll put a Dutch glue on the back. Okay. And then this, the photo etch is in place. And I went ahead and put on F26 just to make sure it fit. That's just a little clamp that goes over it. And then the whole thing, this I guess is the ejector chute for the spent shells. And it doesn't really give you much mounting information, but I think it goes just like that. So okay, just make sure it's straight and square. Okay, I put a little glue there. There is kind of a little recess there that fits in on that end. Sanding dust there we'll get rid of. Okay. That's the last part from step 13. Okay. I'll take a picture of this so you can see what that part looks like. Let's go back and take a look at our gun. Okay, I'm going to jump in here real quick. After I finished the video and I was doing some editing and I was studying the directions, I would change the build sequence of this. Okay, in step 13, the first thing it does is to tell you to attach H6, two H6s to F13. Okay, you just assume they fit between these two spaces because, you know, that's kind of what the picture shows. It really doesn't tell you exactly. What I found by studying the directions a little bit more is install F39 first and get it in place, then install H6, install both of those tight up against this on both sides, and then when you install your pedals, hopefully everything will be okay. I'm not going to guarantee it without actually trying it myself. So I could have removed these two pieces and moved them over, but I assumed that the way they laid in there was correct. So do this part first, then these two, and hopefully that'll eliminate some of your headaches. Alright, back to the video. Thanks. See how it's looking. Okay, that feels pretty firm. I've got some sanding to do on this. I'm just trying to look and see about how much time has gone by. Give me a minute. Try not to make these too awful long. Let's see. Yeah. Let's go ahead and call it good for today. It'll give me plenty of time to go ahead and sand this gun a little bit, fill any places that I think needs to be done. And then when we come back tomorrow, we'll try and get majority of this assembled. I'll make sure and put a picture up of what this looks like. Okay, so you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.